Alright, let's have a look at the gear and the skills real quick, and we'll get into the rift. So for gear, we have a Serpent Sparker, which is going to give us an extra Hydra. Nilfer's Boast, which is going to give us extra damage on our Meteor. Ring of Royal Grandeur lets us get our Tal Rasha bonus. Our Tal Rasha bonus is we take 25% less we have 25% more resistance, for each element that we cycle through as we're using our abilities. Each time we cast a new ability with a new element, it will drop a meteor of that type on the enemies. In addition to that, it will increase your damage by 750% per element, stacking up to 4 times. Each time you apply a new element, it will refresh the duration of the buff. We have a Mantle of Channeling, which is going to give us a little bit extra damage and a little bit of damage mitigation. Unfortunately, that extra damage is canceled out by Hexing Pants of Mr. Yang. When we stand still, we do less damage, but as we're moving, our meteors will do more damage, so that works out. We, on the other hand, have our Traveler's Pledge, which is going to let us get more damage when we're standing still and have damage mitigation while we are moving. Pretty simple build. Cycle through elements. You want to cast your Blizzard for your Ice Meteor. You want to cast your Disintegrate for your Fire Meteor. You want to cast your Lightning Hydra to get your Lightning Meteor. It will land wherever your Hydra attacks, not where your Hydra is. So I can put them up here and it'll still land down there, as you can see. Teleporting will give you your Arcane Meteor as well as stun enemies, and give you a little bit of extra damage mitigation through Ancient Parthenon's Defenders. So that's kind of the overview of the build. We want to make sure we're killing elites to get the Bane of the Powerful, and we're going to utilize a Conduit Pylon on floor 1, a Shielding Pylon on floor 2, and a Channeling Pylon on floor 3. Map will of course be in the video as well as in the description. Hope this works out for you guys. Let's go ahead and get into it. Alright, make sure you get your buffs up right away. Teleport in. Get those things going, get your lightning going, all that good stuff. I'm going to pop my potion just a little bit early there, just because I don't want to risk anything. I want to make sure I'm killing stuff as much as possible as I'm moving through here. Now, one thing I do want to keep in mind is that I want to have my Arcane Teleport buff up for the Elite Pack that's coming up, so I'm actually going to hold it as I run through these guys. I'm going to fire my fire one backwards to take those guys out, but I want to teleport on top of this guy and drop my arcane. And then I want to drop my ice on top of him as well, because I want him to go down as quick as possible, so then I can move on to these guys and nuke them down. We want to keep our conduit going throughout this. Now I can teleport and keep moving. I want to move as quickly as I can down to this elite down here. I was a little slow, so I wasn't able to keep up my my conduit pylon for him, which is a bit of a bummer, but we can knock him out with Star Pack pretty easily. We'll have another elite right here. We want to kind of do the same thing with him. We want to nuke him down as quickly as possible with our meteors. So we want to make sure that we channel on the elites first, not the random trash. Kind of a key behind this build is make sure that you are hitting the elites first and not the random trash. That way you can be sure that your powerful spells are going to actually hit the elites. I did proc because I stood in the middle of a ton of stuff there, but that's okay because we do have a cheat death and it's not that big of a deal. We just wait for those explosions to go off and we just move through it. No big deal. My friend Necromancer is offering to help me with the GR80. I'm not even playing the season right now, but my last clear was a 99. That's funny. Alright, we do have to be a little careful right now because we did use our cheat death already and we don't really want to die. So I'm going to just kind of pop everything I can on these guys to make sure they die. Keep moving a little bit, keep my Traveler's Pledge up. But we want to kind of pop that stuff out as quick as we can. And I want to make sure I keep up my Tal Rasha's buffs, because if I don't, I will probably die. I want to kind of do this little fine balancing act between moving and casting. Because I do get damage mitigation when I'm casting, but I also get damage mitigation when I'm moving. So I'm just kind of trying to balance out my Traveler's Pledge a little bit between damage and toughness. It's kind of a fine balancing act sometimes. Playing it a little bit safe here because I don't have my cheat death up. But you don't have to play like that. I just wasted my cheat death, so I'm doing that. As we move this way, we are going to find that we have some good density, so don't be afraid to stop and clear that out. But Our main elite is going to be right down here for our next section. So we do want to make sure we have at least something up for him, because otherwise he'll take way too long to kill. So I saved my cold meteor for him. It's a balance between saving your meteors and making sure you have your damage buffs up. Can be kind of hard to find that balance if you're not used to playing the spec. For those of you who have played the spec, it shouldn't be too hard. But, you know, not everyone plays Wizard. Crazy people don't play Wizard, you know? Alright, gonna grab my shielding pylon here, and we're gonna jump into these guys. Make sure they die with our meteor damage baller stuff. Alright, those guys are down. I'm gonna pretend like I never said that. I hope you guys do too. Alright, kill those guys. Just gonna kill trash as I go here. I do have one more elite on this floor that I know of. I mapped it out a little. I don't know if I got every nook and cranny, but I did map out a little bit before I did this run. So I do know that there's another elite coming up. He's kind of tucked away in a corner though. He's pretty easy to miss. He's right up here in this little corner. So he's kind of easy to miss, but the nice thing here is we do have the shielding pylon. So he's not that big of a deal. If we didn't have that shielding pylon, he would be a pretty big deal because he does arcane cutters in a very narrow area. And that's just a recipe for bad times. But we're just going to kill trash as we move through here. We're coming up on the end of the section. I'm just going to run through these guys, knock them out. We're going to have a little narrow pathway here, and then we're going to be on the end of the floor and on to the next section. On this next section, we have a channeling pylon right away down here, so I'm going to teleport, grab the channeling pylon, put down my stuff, and then I've got to get this elite down as quickly as possible, preferably without... Oh, I didn't even need him, apparently. I would say preferably without using my cheat death, but turns out it didn't even matter. And just channel on this guy and kill him, and you should be good to go. Okay, so hopefully that helps you clear this. There's probably a faster way to do it. There's probably a faster way, but that way worked for me. So hope you guys enjoyed. Only 22 on the leaderboards this week, but it was our first actual try at clearing it. Could probably optimize it a bit more by doing more elite hunting and not stopping for as much trash. So if you guys want to mess around with that on your own playthrough, feel free to. Hope you guys have enjoyed. This has been Xanthus with Xanthus Gaming, and make sure to leave a like, favorite, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And we'll see you guys next week for next week's Challenge Rift. A great success. Yes, it was. Bye, YouTubes.